what the car for his money needs.
2021 Ram 1500 Classic models. Plus $1,000 royalty cash for select owners. The perfect truck. The perfect
The unions are happening, and what it took to get there.
See your Ram dealer for details.
Your bank account does more. Your money does more.
The 2020 Dodge Ramadan with COVID-19 transmission.
Package and get a savings rate of up to 1.8%.
Hybrid COVID-19 transmission. I'm not allowed to laugh at that. I'm allowed to laugh at that. It's a Dodge Ramadan. I want a Dodge Ramadan.
Conditions apply. Rate is for a limited time and varies by savings period. Visit scotiabank.com/ultimate300. Scotiabank.
682 times 626.
Business Richie.
What?
Good evening, Apple announcing a slate of new products. Some
A
of which are
slate.
targeted at
A
remote
slate.
workers. The tech giant
Not a
announced the line of
salute, a
slimmer iPad
slate.
computers and iPads, both of which have higher quality front-facing cameras and better microphones. Very much you're responding to some customer complaints about poor quality video conferencing
Right,
during
since
the
like
pandemic.
2002.
For instance, the new
Pandemic.
iPad
Oh,
Pro
I've
will
got
have a
one of these things here
12-megapixel
somewhere.
front-facing camera with an ultra-wide lens that automatically pans to keep the subject in the shot. Apple
What if
also
you're ducking out
announcing
of
what
the
it
shot on
calls air
purpose?
tags, a little tracking accessory to help you find whatever the air tag is attached to. They're basically little small metallic circular buttons that you can stick on anything like your keys or your wallet. And once you do, you can use your iPhone to find out where those
I swear that was in a
objects
Richie
are.
Rich comic book from like
Apple as well
1987 or
announcing
some shit. I
a
swear to God.
purple iPhone 12. Apple stock fell down 1.25% to $133.11. Tumbling in the after-hours trade Netflix as it reported a big drop-off in subscriber growth numbers. For the quarter, Netflix said it signed up 3.93 million. The expectation, though, was for more than 6 million. The company says a lighter content.
Alpine credit.
It's all the people that died from COVID.
Other than that, the company did beat on the top and bottom line. Broader markets lower in the Tuesday trade. The TSX closing down 163 points to 19,040. Canada stocks were among the bigger laggards today. We had shares in Organigram down 10% at $2.94. On Wall Street, the Dow fell 256 points. The S&P down 28 points. The NASDAQ down 128. Airlines were hard hit today. Air Canada down 3.6%. Canadian dollar at 79.25 cents US. This is 680.
Find a car today, a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Listen here, my friend, and I'll offer a little advice. Why scour the city looking for a used or new car when you can easily visit OntarioCars.ca and find a large selection to choose from? Couldn't be simpler. No clutter, just cars. There's all-in pricing from our trusted sellers too, and all purchases are protected by a compensation fund. Find your gem at OntarioCars.ca.
That's OntarioCars.ca. As one of Canada's largest providers of home comfort solutions, Reliance is also providing ways to help homeowners reduce their environmental impact. We offer many greener options, including heat pumps for more efficient heating and cooling, smart home technology to help reduce your energy consumption, and a carbon offset program designed to help offset greenhouse gas emissions from heating equipment. This Earth Day, think about how you can do your part and visit RelianceHomeComfort.com to learn more about how together we can create a more comfortable tomorrow.
It's 6:30. Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Good evening. This is Tuesday, the 20th of April. I'm Sljana Timitic.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what you need to know.
In Minnesota,
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 2, find the defendant guilty. Count 3, find the defendant guilty.
Derek Chauvin convicted of murdering George Floyd. Snow is headed to Toronto and the rest of the GTA, so your morning commute tomorrow could be tricky.
Any workplace in Peel or Toronto with 5 cases of COVID in the last couple of weeks could be shut down. Both public health units have issued a new Section 22 order. The Leafs and Canucks wrap up their two-game series out west, and the Jays turn to their ace for the opener in Boston. Sports at 45.
After yesterday's massive outage, Rogers said it's offering customers a credit. We'll have the details. TSX Dow suffered big losses in the Tuesday trade business at 56.
680 News Time, 6:31.
Traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by 407 ETR and Shopper 680. Here's Jordan.
Eastbound on the 401 is slow going from approaching Avenue Road the Express, and from east of Young in the Collectors through to Leslie, and then delays from Ward into Kennedy in the Collectors. Westbound 401 in good shape across the GTA right now. No major problems or delays to pass along. From the 680 Traffic Center, Zach Bowden, Steve.
Well, things looking pretty smooth on other routes as well. West QEW and West Gardner, for that matter, both up to speed. And we're just looking at a delay on the North 410 from north of Steeles to north of Queen. A bit busy as you head towards Ford Drive on the eastbound QEW as well. 407 ETR donates to 19 GTA hospitals and rehab centers to support critical healthcare programs and services. 407 ETR for the things that matter most. With a check of the forecast now, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Yeah, flurries changing into some accumulating snow overnight tonight, so that's why we have the winter weather travel advisory in place. Now, latest forecast models have shifted the heaviest of the snow a little bit further south, so that's going to leave Toronto with about trace to 2 centimeters through the morning, 2 to 5 for Burlington, Oakville, about 2 to 3 out through Durham, and heaviest amounts again over towards Niagara. -1, wind chill -8. It's a cold start to the day, and after lunch when that snow tapers off, the wind is still gusty, so it's going to make our high of 4 degrees feel even colder. Overnight.
Jesus Christ. 5 fucking minutes to turn on one fucking link. Yeah,
Or wherever you listen to your
number one
favorite
viewer
podcasts.
won't fuck off, won't get the fucking point.
Please allow me to introduce.
Former President Barack Obama put out a statement today praising the verdict and saying that while it may have been a necessary step on the road to progress, it was far from a sufficient one. We cannot rest, he said. I wonder if you agree with that, and if so, what do you see as the
this
next?
is the mark of a fucking pedophile.
Well,
the TV is up and down, up and down, up and down. The phone is in and out, in and out, in and out.
You know, we have been waiting to
This
pass
is what the
police reform,
Stockard Chomo is
the
up
George
to
Floyd
right
Act,
now.
to
On all counts, a
Every
significant
second
win.
of every fucking day
Question then
watching
becomes,
us.
will this change anything? Alex Pearson with you on this Tuesday, April 20th. And yeah, here we go into yet another busy news day. And obviously this is the big story of the hour because it took a jury just 10 hours of deliberation to decide the fate of former officer Derek Chauvin. And quick deliberations are always a sign of guilt. And so it took a long time to deliver it, but no question, guilty on all charges. And that's quite significant. So he's been found guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. And it only takes one juror to disagree. So we could have seen a very different outcome for this ex-cop. But clearly the jury wanted to send a message. They did send a message. But imagine how hard their job was. I mean, at the best of times, deciding a case is difficult. But when it becomes a case that turns into a symbol, in this case, a symbol of racial injustice, where it's a case you can watch worldwide and historic.
You just minimized the belittle the whole thing.
Snow in April is not rare, but snow in late April is. We pull some of the latest April snowfalls as measured at Pearson. We only get a handful, and they go back to 1945, 1963, and 1976. She says we can expect snow overnight and snow heavy at times and blowing snow tomorrow morning. A trace to 2 centimeters for Toronto, 2 to 4 for areas like Oshawa and Whitby, and Burlington, and 4 to 8 for Hamilton. A couple of things that are going to limit the snowfall amounts that are going to be actually on the ground in Toronto. One, I've got a lot of dry air in place, so the system is just grazing us to the south, but it's fighting with this dry air to the north. So that's why we're talking about trace to nil by the time you get up towards Barrie and King City and up towards Georgian Bay. City of Toronto spokesperson Eric Holmes says pavement temperatures are warm right now.
So what that means is when the snow falls, it's probably not going to accumulate that much. So it's going to be slippery. It's going to be as it is tomorrow, but we don't expect much accumulation on the roads and sidewalks and bikeways.
According to Holmes, salt trucks will be out making the rounds.
And the good news is we can wear shorts again by Friday, according to Ramsey High. Phil Martino, 680 News.
This is 680 News. COVID updated orders today from not one but two public health units, which are looking to curb outbreaks in workplaces.
5 cases of COVID in a workplace in the previous 14 days, and that
it won't be the first and it won't be the last. So we will talk about this case through the show. It's a big decision, and certainly a lot of fallout from it. Here at home, though, lots of news. And one of the things that's become crystal clear during this pandemic is that those in charge, they're always really quick with spin, but they're always very slow to act. And we've got 2 prime examples of how inaction by those in charge is prolonging this pandemic pain for us. We do our part, and then those in charge don't do theirs. And today's Peel Region Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Lowe, and Dr. DeVilla announced that businesses with more than 5 cases of COVID, they're going to be shut down for 10 days. Okay, well, that's a novel concept. And Dr. Lowe admits they've known for a long time that the threat these companies and the outbreaks pose. And so, well, what the hell are you waiting for so long to act? I mean, you ask me, the time to have acted was months ago when we were being warned about wave 3. When we've seen daily headlines of these large outbreaks at places like Amazon, Canada Post, manufacturing plants across Brampton, and yet now, just now, the brains in charge are acting. I mean, they moved lightning speed to shut down all the small businesses where there's zero data to show spread, and yet 7-8 months later, now we're going to target the drivers of the spread?
We've known for a long time that workplaces that have remained open have been major drivers of transmission in the region of Peel. With the variants, we're seeing faster and wider spread, such that our investigations are having trouble keeping up in this third wave. So it's really important that once we get to a defined threshold, that it's just like schools. Once you get to a certain number of cases, everyone goes home. We take a look at what's going on. We try to break the chain of transmission.
Yeah, sorry, doctor. The time to act on that was a long time ago. Instead, yet here we are again. All the horses are out of the barn. The barn doesn't even have any doors at all. They just don't exist with any of the people in charge. So, why should this surprise us? It's always too little, too late, and that is the running theme of this pandemic. And so, yeah, sure, blame Premier Ford for all the many of, the failures of this pandemic. And sure, he deserves blame. But there's so much blame to go around. I mean, Dr. Lowe, who closed schools without any consultation, at the same time declaring they're safe, he has shown he can act on his own. And so why didn't Dr. Lowe act last summer when hundreds of outbreaks were happening? And if getting ahead of these variants is such an urgency, then why aren't Dr. Lowe and Dr. DeVilla raising hell about all these international flights still coming in, despite the fact that Trudeau, declare that they've got the, tightest border measures in the world? That is a lie. Here we are, holed up in our homes. We've got businesses being destroyed daily. Thousands of foreigners get to fly into Pearson Airport every single day.
Foreigners. Who said they're foreigners?
Not even a question to ask.
Who said they're foreigners?
And the Toronto Sun has been reporting on this. India is now into another very harsh lockdown. They've got
who said they're
tens of
foreigners?
Thousands of cases daily.
26,000 essential workers were exempt.
And yet we're welcoming
There's a good chance a lot of them weren't foreigners.
New Delhi on a daily basis. And Dr. Lowe is in charge of this territory all around Pearson Airport. And he was on with Mike Stafford this morning. And so Mike asked a pretty basic question, why aren't you doing anything?
Okay, Malton is under your purview. Pearson is in Malton. Why are flights still arriving from India and Brazil?
I think there's a lot of things that are happening here, but the reality is outside, beyond travel restrictions, we have significant propagation within our community itself. So, I agree it's not a one size fits all, that sort of thing, but we do need to have both the travel restrictions.
I agree that I'm saying something completely different than you just said.
As much as possible for people people to stick to quarantine. But right now in our community, we need to be working on these essential workplaces, which have really driven a lot of transmission throughout the course of the pandemic in Peel.
What a load of hooey. Good Lord. He agrees it's a problem, but apparently they can only focus on one threat at a time. I mean, this is why we are upside down, why we are backwards. And it's because those in charge don't take charge. And at this point, I don't even actually know who is in charge. You know, we can't cross the Ontario border to go into Quebec.
I told you a while ago,
an international flight from a hot
who's
zone,
supposed to be
come
in
in with a
charge of
fever,
anything
no question that.
at all related at all.
And
to
those
what
saying,
we're
no,
supposed
that's
to
not
be doing.
happening. Well, sorry, Mr. Prime Minister, between April 5th to April 17th, 29 flights arrived from Delhi with no extra screening.
Oh.
And still no talk of pausing flights. You've got other countries that have stopped flights from India, but not us here in Canada. No, we don't want to do that until we welcome in that latest double mutant.
Well, actually,
You know,
that's in
that next
California already,
threat.
stupid. We knew
Kind of
that a
like what we
week
did
ago.
with the UK variant, the South African variant, and the
We
Brazilian
spoke last
variant. In
week.
fact, I
Some
don't know if
point last
you
week
remember
we
this
did that.
last week, but Patty Hydew, who should have been fired, she never should have been hired in that position anyway, but nonetheless, she declared last week that they were dropping extra screening of incoming Brazilian flights because, the variant's here already.
Yeah, there's no point deploying that resource.
Same Hydew,
because
who
there's
once
not
upon a
enough
time
to go
declared,
around.
germs don't know borders. Well, Minister, they do know borders. And that's because you keep letting them come in because your government refuses, for whatever reason, to actually stop or slow them down. I mean, yes, the talking point is that we have the strongest border measures in place. Well, we don't. That's a lie. So here we are, third lockdown, variants taking hold. We can't cross borders. We can't go and play soccer. Kids can't go to school. Businesses can't operate. And we got kids getting pushed off scooters in parks by cops. You know, we're all in this together. Meanwhile, those in charge are just getting around to doing what should have been done, I don't know, 8 months ago. So, you know, I get it. People are screaming mad about Ford's failures, but I think it's time to start sharing that blame because there's so much to go around. All right, got a very busy show for you tonight. We'll talk about the science table. Going rogue.
I figure if I keep them in a small enough tank, they won't get big
government.
enough.
They put out this list of demands they say are needed to stop COVID, but I think it's very clear they want to show the divide on decision making, and they want to pick a fight with Ford, which begs the question: you know, are they over the line getting political, or are they right to pick the fight? Well, let's talk about Hamilton Mall. Hamilton has enough caseloads that they're saying that city's going to be in lockdown until at least June. Which then means, what the hell does that mean for us? We are going to be in lockdown till December? I don't know. We'll talk about that with the doctor coming up next. We got a very, very busy show here on this Tuesday. Stay with us here, Alex Pearson on Point. This is Global News Radio.
What are you doing, bud? He's 12 years old.
The OPP says the officers are from the Bracebridge detachment, saying they were on scene talking to the kids who were not wearing masks or social distancing at the skate park that was closed because of the stay-at-home order. The commissioner of the OPP asking Peel Police to investigate the incident in the interest of transparency as the officer is put on administrative duty. This comes just 2 days after the province announced it was giving police increased powers, and the OPP was one of the few forces that said it would use those powers, although the province did walk back those orders over the weekend, and the commissioner of the OPP did tweet on Sunday that his members would not arbitrarily stop individuals or vehicles. I'm Momin Qureshi.
Why is my dog such...
This Sunday morning on Your Life, Your Money. Strategies.
How to Dog. Listen and subscribe for free with your podcast player and at frequencypodcastnetwork.com.
Tried to adopt a dog. All they had was a budgie. I'm going to adopt a budgie and name him Dog.
Go ahead, diciéndole mija que Clap back, where my people at? We about to clap back. Where my rasa at? We about to clap back. Where my natives at? We about to clap back, clap back. Freedom's all I wanted, but I couldn't afford it. My baby's got the spirit, just brilliant and gorgeous. Oh yes, the self-defense endorsement. Always a quiet when she about to load it. Hold it, it's a more about to load it. Oh shit, and the whole body will support it. Like, go ahead, te dicen no le mija, come on now. Go ahead, go ahead.
It's snowing out there,
Give them
for
a
real.
standing
It
ovation.
was.
Gotta tear the shit down to rebuild all of our nations. We do it on the track, we could do it on the record. Got killers on the team, we could take all of the pressure. Óyeme aquí, escúchame ahora. Esto aquí, esto mi mano de obra. Cuando tomas de la tierra, siempre se cobra. Cuando tomas de mi gente, siempre se cobra. Aquí no se presta y aquí no se regala. Cada vez que nos robas, la deuda se paga. Cada vez que nos robas, la deuda se paga. Cada vez como ves. Clap back, where my people at? We about to clap back. Where my rasa at? We about to clap back. Where my natives at? We about to clap back, clap back. Clap back. Clap back.
You heard about me, word of mouth, bring it.
Go to 640toronto.com. And click the Radio Roundtable icon.
Above 7 degrees Celsius, your winter tires
together when I put down the bottle. And all my people with it, protecting the spirit, strength in the struggle now. Holler if you feel it, feel it. Said holler if you feel it. One more time, one more time.
clap back. Where my people at? We about to clap back. Where my rasta at? We about to clap back. Where my natives at? We about to clap back, clap back.
What up to Cali Geek? Yanni Metaposa. My SCF motherfuckers and my TAFTs. Taking it dope. Coming out the phone for the city, getting shitty, it's a pity. My boy says he's always by my side when we ride to the other side, headed to the store so we can get some more drink. Don't forget the nippers, these back then there was no pin, baby, say that from as well, he was doing well. Now leaving the trail from town all the way to the surrounding hills. Fuller's Park, he was chilling in the dark till the bottle caps, the boom back slides, and that's a fact. Fly, how you like us now, creative motherfuckers with the illest style. If you understood, it would make you smile. If you participated, it would make us proud. I miss my hip hop, but the summer say it loud. Yeah, I'ma say it loud. Niggas can rap, the tap on. What? Got a hard niggas can rap, the tap on. Taking it dope. What? Told me this insane. Taught me what I know today. Dusty Bible, creating the cycle. When we're chillin', everything's alright, yo. Cali Geek Making motherfuckers real sick. Y'all ain't catching up with the greatness. Deuce getting ill with the militant skills at the top. Let's see, don't miss on stretch all day with the wordplay. When he's crazy, no debate. Got something to say. Strap low when he gets on the mic, he don't choke. Up in the building, your host better know. Love, little crazy, but I got mad love. Handshakes, no short shrugs. This is my SCF and my TAFT family rock. Speakers come out, taking it dope.
Maybe you could announce what the song is, guys? You don't mind?
It's Aboriginal incarceration in Canada, the next one. It's Aboriginal incarceration. Well, this one won't load. I'll just look something different. I will, I swear.